most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, that the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians, and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks I give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
This is just a short review or in-depth look at the book by James Baldwin, I Am Not Your Negro, which was actually a book that James Baldwin didn't get a chance to finish. He only did 20 pages, which was titled Remember This House. And he accounts about his relationship with 3 of his friends that was killed: Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, and Malcolm X. James Baldwin brings a lot of information in this book. I believe this book needs to be studied, reviewed. James Baldwin was a very, very interesting person. He's a hero in my eyes. He brings the point of Lorraine Hansberry, who was 34 years old, who many of us have heard her work that she wrote, Raising of the Sun. And James Baldwin brings about some very interesting points in the book about whether the Negro during his time was considered docile and happy and just trying to survive. And he brings about, in parts of the book that Raoul Peck, in the movie, because the book was made into a movie, it's some interesting things when we talking about reparations today, that not only does our government own reparations, but Hollywood may owe us reparations as well. Hollywood played a very, very big part in slavery, in the mindset of white supremacy. In the book the movie Imitation of Life, Birth of a Nation, Uncle Tom's Cabin, these movies was very, very, very important for white supremacy and how they tried to instill the country to be racist, to be blatant racist. And Baldwin brings that to account in his work. Baldwin was very much in touch, even when he was in France, and he felt compelled to come back to America after his 3 friends got killed. Even today, his work, if you study any of James Baldwin's work, you'll see how he was relevant, how his work could be used today with the mindset of white supremacy and what goes on in the mind of being black and dealing with society and dealing with how a person may have to be with apprehension of dealing with police brutality and what's going on and things like that. So I just wanted to give a quick little 2 or 3 minute review on his book, I Am Not Your Negro. I have a couple quotes by James Baldwin that we'll hear, and everybody should just, if they get a chance, read this book, I Am Not Your Negro, or watch the movie on Prime. He has a lot of works by James Baldwin. He's a very, very interesting person that we should all be studying and researching. That's all I want to discuss about this review. And hopefully in the future we're going to have some more book reviews. And we're going to try to do them live or try them doing recorded on the for the YouTube purposes. And even for the podcast purposes, we're going to try to do a little bit more and try to do a lot of book reviews. If anybody has any suggestion on book reviews, you can say it in the comments. We're open to suggestions. Thank you.